Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It's White Rice Wednesday, which means it's time for my Survivor recap. So to recap on tonight's episode, apparently it was a Survivor first. Apparently this episode there was like a Survivor yard sale going on. Apparently, after Simone got voted off, her clothes were still all on the beach, so I don't know if she was confident that she wasn't gonna go home or what, but her clothes were left on the beach, so Ryan and Patrick were trying them on, and Ryan actually made a good point, saying that Simone's boots left there are actually an advantage to them because whoever puts those on could just slip an idol right in there, and nobody would know. So it's like a win-win. Um, both Patrick and Ryan want Allie to stay. They're like saying, well, obviously Patrick and Allie are in that kind of power couple alliance, and Ryan feels like he could trust Allie. And I gotta say, I really underestimated Allie at first. I feel like she's a really good player. I think she's gonna be one of those threats come merge time. So it's gonna be I think it's gonna be hard for her. She's either gonna be one of those challenge beasts or just one of those big social threats. And Lauren's having a hard time fitting in because she's the only mom there, and basically everybody else around is a bunch of not high schoolers, but they're younger kids and everything. What she said is they act like they're still in high school, and um, Lauren doesn't really trust Patrick as we've seen in previous episodes, and especially after his comment last week at Tribal that he trusts almost everybody. I mean, he really shot himself in the foot there saying that. On the Heroes Tribe, Ben and Chrissy are at a good spot right now, and Ben's trying to figure out if they lose again, who they want to keep on because he doesn't think he can trust Ashley at this point. But Alan's he's a threat that he's kind of has a short fuse, so they don't know if they want to keep that around. And JP Chrissy harshly thinks he's stupid. I don't think he's stupid. I think he's showing his worth around camp. I mean, he's going out there fishing and everything, and providing at camp. He's doing what he needs to do, and from what I'm seeing, he's doing really well well, I wouldn't say really well, but he's doing well in challenges. And Ashley's starting to see that too, and she is starting to think that he's dreamy. So she claims that they weren't a power couple before, but maybe Ashley and JP might turn into one. And Alan, being the strong guy that he is, you'd think that he'd be able to open a coconut, but apparently it took him about 30 minutes to open a coconut. Go figure. Um, on the Healers Tribe, Joe loves being on the Dominant Tribe, and I would be too. I would be feeling pretty comfortable if my team keeps winning challenges. And he's also got an idol in his pocket, so he's at a really good spot in this game right now. And there was some flirtation going on between Jessica and Cole, and they seem to make a pretty good couple. But again, with the whole power couple thing, you really gotta watch out for pairs. So they had a good time fishing and whatnot, and they talk. Well, Jessica talked about how the power couple thing is a disadvantage, and it really is. And Cole then just tells Jessica that Joe has an idol, and I knew that immediately last week when Joe showed showed Cole the idol clue. I knew right away. I mean, he was shooting himself in the foot. You do not like show people a clue for an idol, or even let them know you have an idol. I mean, I get he wanted to build trust, but it's not really working out in Joe's favor. Um, then on the Hustlers tribe, Ashley's not Ashley, Allie's trying to talk to Patrick because he's not really watching what he's saying, and he's really getting himself in trouble. And Allie really wants to work with Patrick, but at the same time, she can't work with somebody that's you know, saying stuff like, I trust almost everybody, or being as unstable as he is out there. And on the Healers tribe, Joe apparently was having trouble with how they were cooking dinner. And he, okay, if you don't like how people cook dinner, I get it. I like to have my food a certain way. But then give it to somebody else. What does Joe do? He throws it out into the ocean. I mean, you're wasting food out there. Food is essential in the game of Survivor. So you're wasting food for throwing it out into nowhere when somebody else in the tribe could have eaten it. I thought that was pretty stupid. And Cole wants to blindside Joe if the Healers tribe loses the next immunity challenge. And I get that because Joe is very adamant about voting Mike off. So Joe really thinks he's up here with that idol, so he definitely wouldn't see it coming. And Cole then does a bold move and tells Rourke about the idol, and Jessica doesn't like that Cole did that. That she thinks that he should have discussed it with her first and decided where to go from there, instead of telling Rourke about it. And now the whole tribe basically knows, with the exception of Joe, that they all know he has an idol. So in a way, Cole lost some of Jessica's trust there. And Jessica also pointed out that she's not necessarily on board with the blind side. I mean, I think it's good getting rid of... I think Cole was right in the sense that to blindside Joe, but I don't think Cole went about it the right way. I agree with Jessica, like he should have maybe kept it between them two for right now, so that way them two can build some trust. But at the same time, I agree with Cole that I wouldn't want Joe to be sitting there pretty thinking he has all the power on the tribe and being like a smart aleck, you know? So I definitely think that he wouldn't see it coming, and then they can go search for an idol. The immunity challenge, they had to race through obstacles, and they had to throw sandbags to knock these blocks over. Then they had to stack them all straight, and they were both big and small blocks, and they didn't have to stack them a certain way. They just all had to stack. And the winning tribe gets chickens, and second place gets eggs. So that's very essential out there in Survivor to have that protein. And Mike was the one that sat out because the Healers have an extra player with them winning all the time. And they're all doing good. The throwers were Patrick, Cole, and Ben. And they're all doing really good at first until, Cole ended up having Joe sub in for him, and Ben also had JP sub in. And JP and Joe got all the blocks down, and they were starting to stack the blocks when Patrick was struggling on the challenge, and they're all asking him, hey, can I sub in? Are you tired? Hey, let somebody else have a turn. Like, he's obviously struggling. He's tired. I mean, the Survivor challenges take a lot out of you. And they could see that, and he just keeps throwing them. Like, dude, put somebody else in that can knock the blocks down. And sure enough, because Patrick wouldn't sub anybody else in, the Hustlers tribe have been sent to tribal council again. On the Hustlers tribe, Patrick wants Lauren to go home. Patrick and Lauren they do not like each other at all. And Lauren tells Patrick that it was like a one-man team out there, and she's right. I mean, they all kept saying that it's better to lose as a tribe than to lose because of one person. And Patrick definitely was the person that caused them to lose. Like, from what Lauren described, he kind of wanted to be the hero, and he was making it about him when you're on a tribe. You need to be able to work together as a tribe. I didn't like how Lauren referred to Ryan as an oddball. I love Ryan. He reminds me of Adam from Millennials vs. Gen X. And Ryan's also one of my winner picks. So I was like, oh, hell no, when she said that. And Ryan and Devin are kind of up in the air because Devin wants to keep Lauren because he feels like he can trust Lauren when a merge comes over Patrick. And Patrick's a little bit unstable and untrustworthy. And Ryan wants to keep Patrick so that way the guys will be safe come a merge. At Tribal Council, Lauren, says it was Patrick's fault in the challenge. About what happened, and Allie doesn't think that it was necessarily Patrick's fault. I mean, I get that Allie's his alliance member, but it was totally Patrick's fault. But then she tried to make a point saying that who knows if they would have won if somebody else would have subbed in. She's right. You don't know if he would have won, but you're better off trying to take that chance than to definitely lose. I mean, you could have probably have won. You don't know. Lauren also pointed out that Patrick is a good idol hunter, and that's kind of putting a threat on his back. Like, Patrick isn't even searching for an idol smartly because he's searching for an idol right out there in front of everyone. He's not even going out to look for it in private, And I feel bad. Ryan said at Tribal he's never been in a relationship. I'm like, aww. I love him. I don't understand why he hasn't been in a relationship. I mean, I love his intellect. That's attractive to me. His intellect and his strategic output in the game. Output, I should say. And Ryan made a good point saying that, what exactly are they going to do when a merge comes? Because they're the losing tribes right now. What exactly do they have to offer the other people? The Hustler tribe right now is basically having to work its way up from the top because the other two teams are like the CEOs and the Hustlers are like the ones that are pushing brooms around. So they definitely have their work cut out for them, and they definitely need to keep people that can make relationships good with others, because it's very important if the Hustlers keep going on this losing streak that they stay together and be able to align with the right people. And Devin made a point that I mentioned last week, how that you can certainly step up in a challenge, but when you step up, you need to own it and take accountability if you lose. So he was saying that about Patrick, that he's the one that said he wanted to throw to get the blocks down, and he needs to own up to the fact that he caused the tribe to lose. And it was kind of a bit sexist to me because Simone last week was voted off because she caused the tribe to lose the puzzle challenge. And to hear that some people want Lauren off over Patrick, because Patrick did the same thing as Simone did last week. So you want to keep Patrick for doing the same thing that Simone did last week? That just seems really stupid to me. But sure enough, they voted smart and they sent Patrick home. And they definitely did vote smart, because when I've noticed when tribes are on these losing streaks, they don't really think. They keep these people on that bring the tribe down and cause them to lose till they're down to like 2 or 3 people. And then that's when they finally vote that person off. So they definitely did the right thing voting Patrick off now. And I really liked this episode. We got to see some more confessionals. My winner picks are still in it, so I'm happy. I find Jessica very interesting. She's one of my winner picks, but she mentioned how she comes from an ultra religious background, so I'm very curious to see how she's if she, she comes from an ultra religious background, how she was able to adapt to the surrounding survivor, and was she accepting to the other tribe mates around her, because sometimes when people are ultra religious, it clouds their judgment and they're not as accepting to other people. But from what I've seen so far, Jessica seems pretty accepting to other people. So the previews for next week, it didn't really show much. Only those 3 magic words, drop your buff. So now that's going to really shake things up now. I mean, it might actually be good for the Hustlers tribe, because maybe they might actually be on a winning team for a change. So now I'm very curious to see who's going to end up where, and where my picks are going to be scattered about. It'd be pretty awesome for me if they all end up on one tribe. So I'm hoping the Hustlers can get out of that losing streak, but at the same time, I love the fact that my team, Team Silco, is dominant in challenges. Like, I really am good at picking teams and winners. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Survivor. If you guys want to check out Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Till next time, stay regal.